This is the Star News Brief. I'm Tina Mombono. The BBI proposals have triggered a fallout among the task force team amid claims the document was doctored before members were forced to sign the final report. The report, which has caused a political storm, was handed over to President Uhuru Kenyatta and his handshake partner Raila Odinga at the Kisii State Lodge on October 21st. Major John Say, a member of the 14-member task force, on Thursday claimed that some of the sweeping proposals were totally strange to them because they never featured in their deliberations. The BBI task force member claimed that a high-level meeting allegedly attended by Raila and Interior Principal Secretary Karanja Kibicho 3 days to the Kisii event saw them succumb to pressure. Say said they appended their signatures onto a document whose details they never went through because Raila's presence gave them confidence that all was well. Get a copy of The Star by subscribing to our e-paper for only 10 shillings by dialing *550*3#. Secondary schools will have 2 Form 1 classes next year, a situation that will overload the already straining institutions. The schools will be expected to admit over 1.2 million learners who registered for this year's KCPE. At the heart of the problem is how the institutions will accommodate the extra population at a time they are facing overcrowding occasioned by the 100% transition implemented since 2018. This year's Form 1 class will repeat in January, meaning within the next 6 months, the population of Form 1 students will shoot to an all-time high of about 2.2 million learners. Slightly over 700,000 learners will exit secondary school after completing their KCSE exams. For the first time since the advent of multi-party democracy in 1992, President Uhuru Kenyatta's vote-rich Mount region has turned into a tough battleground for outsiders seeking the presidency. Deputy President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga are in a fierce battle to win over the crucial region that for once may not have a serious presidential contender in 2022. Lack of a clear successor when Uhuru retires in 2022 has also triggered a high-stakes game to control the key region that decisively delivered Jubilee victories in 2013 and 2017. Ruto, who fell out with Uhuru and lost out in the success matrix, is seen as a lone ranger in his attempts to counter Uhuru's campaigns to shove him out of the success picture. Raila, the former Prime Minister in the Grand Coalition government, political observers say is the man to beat in Mount Kenya region given his camaraderie with the president. If you are overweight or suffering from certain lifestyle diseases, it probably has to do with improper diet. However, it appears there could be more to our health outcomes than just the food we consume. One theory, called the Mismatch hypothesis, suggests the problem is not really the type of food and no diet is inherently harmful. It argues that humans have evolved to digest the food of their ancestors and will struggle and often fail to metabolize radically new types of food, leading to problems such as lifestyle diseases. The theory is difficult to test scientifically because it would mean going back to foods eaten hundreds of years ago for one community. Kenyan scientists working alongside American researchers have tested the theory in Turkana. Kenya is expected to borrow more this financial year to meet additional budget needs in the revised budget for 2020-2021 submitted to Parliament on Tuesday for approval. According to the 2020 Budget Review and Outlook paper tabled by Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani, the country will now borrow 1.00 trillion shillings in the current financial year to meet an additional 200 billion expenditure. In the new budget plan, the Exchequer has raised expenditure for the year to 2.92 trillion shillings, up from 2.76 trillion shillings even after acknowledging unexpected shortfall in ordinary revenue collection, which will be hampered by COVID-19 shocks. The BOP shows that Treasury has lowered expected revenue from the Kenya Revenue Authority to 1.6 trillion shillings from 1.63 trillion shillings set in June. Traffic is a mess in Mombasa, plagued by traffic jams and worsening air pollution. Plans are underway to reduce the use of personal motor vehicles in the county and increase bus rapid transit, cycling lanes and sidewalks. Congestion is blamed on the increasing number of private cars, lack of adequate public transport, sidewalks and cycling space. The county has developed a draft Mombasa County Transport Policy, a review of the 2018 policy. It encourages walking, cycling, and use of public transport. In 2019, Mombasa had a population of at least 1,208,333 people, with a projection of 1.88 million people by 2030. Out of this population, 45% of the residents walk as their main means of transportation, 36% use public transport, and only 3% use personal cars. Get a copy of The Star by subscribing to our e-paper for only 10 shillings by dialing *550*3#. You can also get more on the Star website.